Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, along with my amazing co-host,
Cheri Martin, and we are the WCN Interactive Team, business growth, marketing, and social media strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
For that growth, prosperity, and success. And as you know, each Wednesday at 12 noon on TalkNetworkRadio.com, we are here sharing tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
Yes. We love those profits. And we also want to make sure all of our listeners know that they can always ask questions of us and our experts here on the So Social Radio Show by coming over to Facebook.com/So Social Radio Show. And there's a top pin post there. It has a little information about our topic today, as well as information about our amazing guests who we have here, right here in the studio. Going to give a shout out here real quick before we do an official introduction, but it is Mr. Rob Palumbo, owner of the Graphic Design Printing. So welcome.
Hey guys, thank you for inviting me to your show. I really appreciate being here.
We're excited to have you here because, well, like I said, we'll let everyone know a little bit more about Rob and how we have developed an awesome relationship over the years, and all the amazing things he's done for us as far as our printing over the years too.
Absolutely, does a great job.
But first, I want to do a shout out for our partners and give a little other information here.
Oh, I would love to do that. Toastmasters, a world leader in communications and leadership development. Find out how you can improve your speaking and leadership skills. Visit toastmastersd84.org.
And also Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. You can be a marketer with one toolkit, one login, and get an actual 60-day free trial with Constant Contact if you go to bit.ly/WCN free CTCT. That's bit.ly/WCNFREECTCT, and you can get started growing that marketing list so that you can get more business.
Absolutely. Nothing converts better than email. And Everything Brevard, a Brevard County, Florida community website which keeps you up to date on everything that's happening in Brevard County, Florida. Get your business listed on everythingbrevard.com.
And they actually just put out their April 2017 magazine, everythingbrevard.com magazine, and it is gorgeous. It is a print magazine. I think they do have an online publication as well. But at that point, I also want to make mention about the magazine that Mediafish Productions here, who is the helps run our radio show. I mean, Jeff Heiser, who is part of Mediafish Productions, as well as Talk Network Radio. They have started a new magazine at the beginning of this year. It's called Connect 10. And we have had the pleasure of participating and adding some articles in that. So you can actually go to talknetworkradio.com, click on Connect 10, and you'll be able to see all 4 issues that have been put out this year. The recent issue, of course, is the April 2017. And I just have to tell you to go to page 4 and 5 and read our article about social media obsession, right? So that did launch here this week, and we're excited to be a part of that. So, and I know that Jeff's looking for some writers, so definitely connect with Jeff if you'd like to participate in writing for that magazine too.
It's fun. It's fun. You know, I like to speak. My writing's not my best skill ever, but it is fun.
Definitely. Well, should we go ahead and get...
Let's do it.
The introduction of, drum roll here, Mr. Rob Palumbo. Yes, definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, as I said, Rob is the owner of Design Graphics Printing, and he's been the owner since 2004, and I believe that's when you moved down here from New York. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so he was sharing a little bit about some of his New York experiences. New York. So he'll be sharing a lot more of that here with our audience today. I'm sure we'll get the conversation rolling here. But he had shared that he's been working in the advertising environment his whole life.
Yep.
Because that was what your father did, right?
Yep.
So that is so cool. So he's definitely experienced. And we're trying to remember how long it's been since we've known you. And I thought it was longer than since 2004, but that's when you moved here.
That's when I moved here.
Probably when
and
we
I think I joined, we met through BNI. And I joined that, I think, sometime in 2005.
Yep, that's what we thought, too, because we had moved from our home office. That was when we had we're expanding our web design agency, and we had moved from our home office into an office space. And I think one of the first things we had you print, we did some styrofoam boards of all the different websites that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
That's
that?
right. Yep. I think I still have the artwork on that.
I still have all of them. It was like some of our first websites. And I remember that was our first job that we brought to you, and been doing our business cards and some other printing. You put together our LinkedIn guide, our Facebook guide, and all those fun stuff. So definitely we can highly recommend you. And
thank you.
Just today, when I was putting information out about our show, I was so excited to see so many people that I am associated with that just rave about you too. So
it's a good feeling to see that. It really, it's those type of things make you feel good about what you're doing. And in the community, as a business owner, it's just great to see that. It makes your heart feel good,
Oh, yeah. It's a cherry on top of the icing on top
exactly.
of the cake.
That's it,
Really great, yeah.
It is great. It is great. And I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate my clients. My clients are really good to me. And, every job I put out there, I always feel like I'm only as good as my last job that I put out. So I always try to keep striving for, my best foot forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you just moved locations, too, from being in one spot for a lot of years. About a year ago that you moved?
It's coming up on a year. May 6th is when May 6th of 2016 is when we moved. And that went by fast. That's, I don't know. Maybe next time we'll just get a tooth pulled or something. It'd probably be easier. No, you know what? The rent was just going in the wrong direction. And where I was, the way they were, running the place was going in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to stay there. I liked where I was, but sometimes their business model and my business model just didn't line up. And
exactly.
Actually, I'm happier in the spot that I am now. It's a really nice spot.
It is nice. Very nice.
It's different. I put that old. You've been in that old Heidelberg letterpress? I put that right in the front window.
Yes.
It's amazing
cool.
how many people stop just to come in and look at that. And then when the machine's running, when we're using the machine, people are in the front window. You could see on the window after you'll close down the shop for the night, then you'll come in the morning, the light's shining in, and you see all these hand marks on the window. Trying to look at the Heidelberg letterpress. It's funny as hell, but that's a goal of mine. One day I'd love to. Make more room in the shop, and put in like old antique presses, a couple more pieces, and actually running presses, and it's just, it's like, quasi print shop, quasi museum, So
a good stop for all those Girl Scout troops and Boy Scout troops.
Yeah, exactly. It's
that is cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know when you sent the picture over with you and you had the Heidelberg press there, and it's like, wow, that was such a cool picture. And it didn't show up as well as I wanted to on the image I created, but I do have the larger image of you on our website with it, so it's cool.
Yeah, back in the days when those things were all used. Unfortunately, that generation's almost gone.
And believe it or not, it's coming back.
Is it coming back?
It is coming back. There are shops that only have Heidelberg letterpress. It's really more focused on specialty, like they're doing business cards and invitations on them. The business cards are coming back. They're really expensive, and I haven't gotten into that part yet. I don't know when I will. But what they're doing is they're using a very thick 38-point stock, which is like, if you take the average business card that you see nowadays that has a glossy look to it, that's about 14 to 16 point. Well, more than double that thickness. And what happens, what these Heidelberg letterpresses do when they do these traditional metal dies, typeset the dies, when it hits the paper, it almost indents the paper. It's not a true emboss where you feel it on the back end, but it gives an indent. It puts a dent into the business card with the ink color, and it gives it that old world traditional feeling. Oh, wow. And that's making a comeback. I think, if I'm not sure, there's a shop in Orlando now that's all they do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to date me, but when I was in high school, I took a printing. I was in shop
Yeah.
With all these, I think I got it because there was a bunch of guys in there.
What do you mean you think?
Well, where are we going with this show?
Yeah, we got to keep it.
Is that a black book in your pocket book there?
But what I remember is the trays when we were setting up the printing presses for like our school newspaper,
Yep.
and of course we had the dark room too. Okay,
Yep.
we won't even go there.
The dark room with the interlock on it.
But I remember the trays, and we had to set up these little square
Yep.
print, with the letters
Yep,
on it,
yep.
and dip them in the ink. It was so. I mean, that's old. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time
Took
ago.
it in the late '60s, early '70s.
Well, I don't know about that long ago, but you'll be surprised
That's
how
what
many
we did.
people walk into my shop saying, "I ran this in school." And it's just,
Wow.
even for like the retired generation, for these guys to come in and just be so happy to see this machine, it brings back a piece of their past that they never ever thought they'd see again. And it just in that alone, it's like, wow, that's great. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So with all these changes, I hear from, because we do a lot of social media and online marketing, and we hear so many people wondering, is really print still surviving? I mean, how is it still surviving?
It's still surviving because I think people jump on board with new technology all the time. It's the latest and greatest thing, and then it kind of washes out a little bit, and then you realize it's kind of hard to walk into a business, put your phone on the table, and say, "Oh, here's who I am." Sometimes having that piece of paper in hand, whether it's a business card, a handout card, a mailing piece, whatever, it's a softer introduction than kind of just walking in and start announcing who you are, or you got something you can leave
Definitely.
behind with them, a soft break into their own private home by mailing them a piece of mail,
Exactly.
and I mean, you can't. What's going on the internet is powerful advertising, a great way to market your business, but people are realizing that if they want to eke out every aspect of possibly grabbing on to as much business as they can or getting out there, promoting themselves as much as they can, they're realizing that they need to mail. I mean, a couple of years ago, coupons were dead.
Well,
And now,
Yeah.
they're never coming back again.
I've noticed the direct mail pieces that are coming through now are very intentional, very specific. They're using them very effectively.
They are.
I know one of my realtor clients, he actually, to make sure his doesn't just not get put in that recycle bin when someone walks in, he puts a recipe on it.
Yep.
On the back side. I mean, who doesn't keep recipes around?
Exactly.
So they're thinking more strategically in how this direct mail piece can be more effective for them and reach more people. And than if they were just trying to reach them online sometimes.
Exactly.
So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, ultimately, it's got to be a combination of a little bit of everything. On that, you've got to have print, but you got to have email.
Exactly.
You got print and you email. You also have to have something a little bit more visual. So
Yes.
to me, the effectiveness is more of a conglomeration of all media right now, mainly because of the internet.
Exactly.
On that
Exactly.
side. The great thing about the internet is, you can put your contact forms and all that up on there. You can offer them a bribe. If you fill out my stuff, hit the submit button.
Exactly.
You'll get a special report, on that. But by the same token, when you go to impress, it's what shows up in their physical mailbox.
Exactly.
Not
Or
their email.
Or that business card that has that feel to it. Some
Yes,
people,
yes.
they have that new card out that it's called a silk laminated business card, and it feels like silk in your hand almost. And people are going nuts over that. I mean, and it's that emotional connection. You put it in their hand and they're not looking at the card, they're feeling the card, and it's stimulating their brain, saying, "What am I feeling here?"
Yeah, the whole object of any marketing, and this in particular, is you want to be remembered the next morning, when they get up and they go to business.
Exactly.
So I know myself with printing, you're absolutely right. As far as we try to